So this is going to be my training presentation for Communications 220. I do have an audience here with me. I have my friend Rosa, my friend TJ, my friend PJ, my friend DeGroot, and my friend Kat. Say hi, guys.
Hi.
They didn't want to be filmed, but they are here, and they're all education majors. So we're going to get started. So, what do you remember about your first day of school? Thinking all the way back to your childhood. What kind of activities did you do? Rosa?
I think I would say one activity that we did was we would go over
Like maybe class rules
Yeah,
or
class
expectations.
expectations,
You went
yeah.
over? Yeah. Does anyone remember doing maybe like an icebreaker or just getting to know your fellow classmates? Yeah? Yeah? Now, let me ask you, maybe when they asked what your favorite color was or what the person's name was, do you remember? No. So it wasn't effective because it wasn't memorable. So in this presentation, I'll train you on how to make the most of your first day with your students. With 4 years of teaching experience, I have learned exactly what you should do and what you shouldn't do. So the first thing that you should do is you should set boundaries. According to many studies and mainly an article written by EduTopia, when you do not set boundaries in your classroom, your students will set those boundaries for you. So, how can you do this? Be prepared. You should have your seating chart already set. You should have your expectations already set. You should have your call to answers already set. Because these are things that you can do before the first day of school that will help prepare and make that day go by a lot smoother. For example, if I'm up here giving a presentation or I'm teaching a lesson and one of you has to go to the bathroom, it takes about 2 minutes for you to raise your hand. You get distracted from what I'm teaching. You ask me to use the bathroom, and then I say yes or no, and then you go to the bathroom. An easier way that could have been prevented is having a silent signal. You just go like this. I'll look at you. I'll nod. You'll know you can go. 2 seconds. That's why being prepared is so important. So, now that you've set those boundaries, now that you're prepared, you need to establish security in your classroom. Many case studies have shown, and especially psychology today, that when students feel comfortable, they're more likely to learn. This is because when you're in your comfort zone, like when you're laying on the couch listening to your music, you've got your drink of water in the hand, you're chilling, that's when you're the most creative because you are comfortable. If students do not feel safe in your classroom, they will feel very high levels of anxiety. I watched this video where Kanye West talked about how when you feel as though every single question you're getting asked is like a test, you feel that same anxiety you feel when you're about to take a test. Every single thing in your life becomes a question, and you might not know the answer to that question. So, in order to give your students confidence and build security in the classroom, you have to foster a safe learning environment for them. Now, I know I just threw a lot of information at you guys, and you're probably thinking, how on earth can I get all of this done in one day? A lot of teachers complain and they say that they don't have the opportunity to do these things because they don't have enough time in those 8 hours. But I'm here to tell you that this is possible. So if you look at those papers that I handed out, it is an outline. That outline is every single thing that I do in my classroom every single day. It tells you the time we're going to do it, what we're going to be doing, how we're going to be doing it. And this is also really important to go over with your students on the first day of school because it sets that routine. Speaking of routines, tip number 3, stability. You must have stability in your classroom, especially with most of us going into high trauma schools. When students have PTSD, they need routines and they need stability because sometimes school is the only area of stability for students. So, some ways that you can do that is just have daily routines, number corner. You can have morning meetings, just something that the kids know every single day. I'm going to come to class. I'm going to do this. This is how I'm going to do it. And a key thing that you have to remember with having routines in your classroom is you have to teach students routines. I'm going to demonstrate really quick. If I'm sitting here and you tell me to stand up, how many ways do you think I could stand up? PJ?
I guess it could be infinite number. We can
There's
grab
many.
objects. We can
I
play around
could jump,
Right.
or I could just.
Right. Show different emotions.
You literally have to have a procedure for how students get up. When they go to the auditorium, how do they know how to behave? When they go outside, how do they know how to behave? One thing I use with my kids, I had them plant it, ground it, grow. And I use the analogy of a flower and how sunflowers grow very slowly. Now, is this effective in a 5th grade classroom? Maybe not. But for us early education majors, this is going to be very beneficial. So, in conclusion, 3 tips to make your very first day of school the best. Be prepared. Know your yeses, know your nos. Because if you do not know your nos, your students will tell you what your nos are. Number 2, be ready. And be ready to be there for your students. Be ready to respect their boundaries, be ready to be there for them, and be ready to foster an area of safety for your students. 3, establish stability. This goes into routines, this goes into you. Make sure you are a stable piece and you are a stable person in that children's life as their teacher. So, the reason you want to do all of this is so that students can flourish in your class. I know we're all worried. Some of us have job offers, some of us don't. We're all gonna have that first day of school come September. And I think that if you use these 3 tips, you will flourish as a 1st grade teacher, and I know you will because I've done it. So, to end this presentation, I'm going to say, I need for you all, right now, take out your iPads, take out your computers, let's look at everything we've been working on for this class, and I want you to write down 3 things. One area from each of these 3 tips that you can improve on for your first day of school. Some examples, maybe you want to just make it a goal to actually have a routine in your classroom. Maybe you want to look up some sort of routines in your classroom. Teachers Pay Teachers as well as YouTube are great resources that teach you how to teach students. So, guys think you can do that?
Yeah. With these 3 tips.
All right. Thank you for coming to my presentation.